Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm not sure what reading we're doing today. When we were recording the dailies, very powerful messages coming in this week, so don't miss any of the dailies, especially Romance Angels Friday. For those of you in Sacred Union, very powerful messages coming forth all week. And it feels a lot like Ascension energies. I was called to do an Ascension energy update. Now it feels like Sacred Union partnership energies coming in, so I'm not sure what we're going to do. We're just going to pull some cards and see what comes in. You guys will know already based on the thumbnail that I upload. But I'm not sure what we're doing today. So like usual, we're just going to wing it and see what messages come forth for the best and highest good of this collective. A couple of updates before we get started. Again, make sure that you check out all of the dailies. I also have a playlist available for all of my readings, so you can easily find what it is that you're looking for. Remember that all of my readings are meant to be timeless. You take what calls to you, what resonates for you. I have a $10 discount off of past life readings. If you guys are interested in getting a past life reading done with me, you can check out my Instagram and Facebook for a recent posting about that. $10 off. It is a recorded reading, but I love doing those. They're very powerful. They help you heal for your future. We venture into the Akashic Records and see what past lifetime is affecting your current situation, relationships, situation, whatever it is that's coming up for you at this time. We see what the parallel is, how it's affecting you. We cut any cords and clear any chakra blockages based on guidance from spirit. And then we get guidance for what you can do in your present, right here, right now, to help you continue to heal going forward and change any patterns or release any karma that you need to release. I love doing those readings, so I am offering for the rest of the month $10 off. Feel free to book with me. I am getting booked up quickly with personal readings. I am booked into next week, so if you are interested in a reading with me, do make sure that you email me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I have all of my offerings available on my website. Additionally, I do offer emergency readings with a 48-hour turnaround time as well. All the information is under the rates section on my website. Okay, so we are going to pull a card. I was called to this Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck. Throat activations. I noticed that this morning, and that was coming in as a message yesterday. Some throat chakra stuff going on, some throat clearings. You might be waking up with a sore or scratchy throat. You might be clearing your throat a lot, doing some coughing, not coughing like that, but just some clearing of the throat. It feels like there's some upgrades that are happening for the throat chakra. Communication coming in for many of you. And that is a message that has been coming forth over the past few weeks, where you are up leveling not only in your ascension journey, but in your sacred union path to ascension. Divine masculines are going through a major ascension, major awakening. I mean, most of them have already awakened, but they're going through the ascension process where they're up leveling, opening up to their gifts, opening up their heart, opening up their throat chakras, healing their chakras so that they are able to be more vulnerable and authentic and open. The feminine energy, which had really been suppressed, is really rising to the surface, and they are learning not only how to express their emotions, express themselves, but what we had channeled for Friday's daily energy draw, very powerful energy, was the masks are coming off, where they are seeing where they had been self-deceptive and in denial of their own sovereign self, where they had just been working to please others and wearing masks in association with others, kind of being a chameleon and blending into what other people expected of them. Whatever social group they were in, they just blended in there, and now they are learning who they are. It's a lot about self-identity for these divine masculines that I'm channeling. So they have really been going through an ascension process. What I'm actually hearing is they had experienced a dark night of the soul the past few months. I want to say between January and March, there was a massive collective dark night of the soul that they were doing some major clearing and some major purging in their physical world, but most importantly in their internal world. And now what's happening is they're starting to understand who they are, not just as soul and spirit, but who they are and who they want to be as far as their physical embodiment, their human self, because self-mastery really is the balancing between the human and the spiritual self. Recognizing that, yes, you are spiritual, remembering that, yes, you are a spiritual being, your soul being, and as such, you are sovereign and divine, and you have this power within you to co-create with the universe, that you are one with the universe, but also as such that you are here in a physical incarnation to expand and learn and grow and have that self-mastery in the physical embodiment, in the physical plane. And so divine masculines are really understanding this, and take it as it resonates for you if you're divine feminine watching, because you hold both energies within you. What I've been noticing is I've been paying extra attention to the energy of my divine masculine and myself, and I'm noticing that I'm resonating with the masculine energy as well, not on such a deep level as, for example, my divine masculine, but I'm resonating with it as well and applying it to the masculine energy within me, which is helping me to accelerate and expand and ascend as well to a higher level, to really balance out my masculine and feminine energies within me, and to maintain that level of inner peace and knowing and harmony within myself, that inner union with myself. So do take it as it resonates with you, but I feel like that's what divine masculines especially are going through. They are having this understanding of their self-identity, really knowing themselves, possibly even for the first time. And because of that, it's helping them to recognize their connection with you as their divine feminine, because they're opening up to themselves. And you guys, these sacred partners, you really truly are one. The embodiment of two physical beings, but you really are one within this love. And so as they recognize more of themselves, they're also recognizing this connection, they're recognizing this love, they're recognizing you as their person, as their divine feminine counterpart. And they're recognizing the growth and the healing that occurs between you two, especially for the feminine energy within them, which for so long in this lifetime, even in previous lifetimes, they held such a distorted view of the feminine energy because of that societal conditioning and programming, and possibly even past trauma associated with feminine energy. But now they're recognizing what divine feminine energy is, and they're recognizing that they hold that within themselves as well. And so because of that, because the pendulum is swinging into the other direction, where we were really held in toxic masculine, distorted masculine energy with regards to the patriarchy, now that is being released and has been released over the past 100 years or so. And in this, moving into this age of light, this age of miracles, we really are swinging the pendulum in the other direction to understand feminine energy, divine feminine energy much more, and the energy of the divine feminine that we all hold within us as that nurturing energy, as that creative energy, as that expressive energy, where we no longer have to suppress ourselves, to not communicate, to hold ourselves back, to not feel our emotions. We're really opening up to the flow of life, recognizing that we co-create with the universe, and as such we can surrender to that rather than trying so tightly to control everything, which had been the blueprint for so long on this planet. And so the pendulum is swinging in the other direction, but it's really just so it can balance out and meet in the middle with that inner union. And inner union leads to outer union for these sacred unions, these sacred partnerships. But that's that balance, and that's that harmony here where you meet within. So I still don't know what we're doing today. I'm still not sure what we're going to call this, if this is ascension energy or if this is sacred partnerships. But remember that for my collective, whatever this is, you're on the path of sacred union to ascension. The path to ascension that you chose in this lifetime is with your counterpart, is with another person, or even just within yourself, but it's a sacred union path to ascension. So that's where all of my readings come from, even the ascension energy updates. So do make sure that you're not missing anything, especially if we post an ascension energy update, because we do talk about sacred counterparts there as well. Okay, so it's called to get a card from this angels, gods, and goddesses. So I'm going to see why. I'm going to see what it is that they want to channel. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to get called to next, but we'll just play it by ear here. See, surrendering to the flow, surrendering to the flow. Just let your intuition guide you. Just let your intuition, your soul, lead you where you're meant to be next. And you don't have to control everything. You can set the intention for where you want to go, but being a co-creator with the universe is trusting, I'm hearing honoring the path that's laid out in front of you, knowing that the universe is always protecting you and guiding you for your best and highest good. And even if it doesn't seem like it's for your best and highest good, even if it seems like it's a disappointment or it doesn't meet your expectations, recognize that that is just ego, that the universe truly is directing you, or in some cases redirecting you to your best and highest timeline. So even if it feels like, you know, friends are blocking you, or if you're fading away from certain relationships, or if money isn't coming in, recognize that that is either a learning experience for you to open up yourself and unblock any places where you still have to release any control so that you allow yourself to flow, but also recognize that there's redirection from the universe, because the universe is trying to point you in a different direction. And we had channeled this, I'm going to post it on Instagram and Facebook afterwards. We had channeled this a couple of weeks ago. The only question you have to ask yourself is this in alignment with love? Not with what your ego wants, but with what your soul is calling for you. And so often we kind of negate that, because our ego is very stubborn. Our ego says, no, but I want this. And the universe is trying, it's like almost like you have a split pathway. And the universe, so it's like this. The universe is trying, you're trying to go in this direction because you're like, well, I want this. This is good for me. I want this. I'm going to have this. And the universe is trying to point you in another direction, where you see this heart is bigger. You see it's I don't want to say better, but that's the energy that I'm getting here. This is just for show here. It's better. Maybe it has more of what would fulfill you, more of what would make your heart happy. Maybe it has more abundance here, but you're so stuck on this path that you can't see that the universe is trying to redirect you to what your soul is actually craving, what your soul is actually longing for, what your soul is actually calling for, which is your best and highest timeline. And you, in your ego, think this is your best and highest timeline because you're boxed in, because your ego has that limited thinking that you can't see the full potential that the universe has to offer. And that's where we trust our intuition. That's where we trust the universe, knowing that the universe is always trying to guide us to our best and highest, to more abundance, because the universe wants to bring forth your abundance. The universe doesn't want to hold anything back from you, because the universe is love and you are love. And they want to match your frequency of love. That's the law of attraction. We talk about this in one of the dailies this week, and I can't remember, I think it might be tomorrow, where we talk about this. It's all about vibration. It's about the energy and the frequency that you're emitting. If you're only emitting a frequency of this within your resistance, within your stubbornness, if you're only emitting a frequency of this is what I deserve, this is what I want, this is all I can have, then the universe is going to respond to that with repeated patterns, habits, addictions, karma. That's the energy that you're going to get back. You're not going to get back anything more. But if you open yourself up, if you follow your intuition, if you allow the universe, if you raise your vibration and allow the universe to bring to you what really is infinite, what really is limitless, then you can be led down another path towards abundance. And who doesn't want abundance? And if you don't want abundance, that's just a block, possibly from past life karma, possibly from self-worth issues or fear. But love is abundant, love is infinite. And when you raise your vibration to that level of love, then you realize that you're an infinite being, and the universe is responding to that infiniteness, with abundance. So, okay. I don't know where that came from, but wanted to be said. So, talking about manifestation, it seems, today. Okay. All right, Spirit, what do you want to say to these sacred partners? We have Angel of Psychic Ability. Your intuitive and psychic abilities are strong at present. Yeah, your intuitive abilities. It's very strong. It's just the ego that holds you back, that blocks you from following, because your ego is what second guesses. Your ego is what really makes you doubt, makes you question. We have this angel of space clearing. It is time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. That's the blocks that we were just talking about. That's the ego that we're talking about. That's the fear, that limited mindset, that scarcity mindset that we've been talking about on the channel for the past few weeks. This is the recognizing that you are an infinite being at one with the universe. And at one with the universe, you are able to communicate with the universe through your vibration and through your frequency. And when you're on the right path, you will see alignment. Things will feel easier. It will feel like you're flowing. Things will come to you more easily, I should say, grammatically correct. Things will flow to you. There won't be such resistance. You won't feel blocked. And if you're being blocked, it's just because you're on the wrong path, and the universe is trying to redirect you. It's just your ego that gets so stubborn that says you have to plow through, that it's just an obstacle and you have to keep going and going and going and plowing through and removing the blocks. But the universe is saying, listen, you can go through the jungle chopping at all the shrubbery, or you can take the path that's laid out for you already. You can make it easier on yourself, or you can make it hard on yourself. And I do want to say that for these counterparts, you have made it very hard on yourself, especially with that resistance energy. And this is both divine masculine and divine feminines. Divine feminines, you were in a place of resistance as well. You were in a place of blocking the flow because you were holding on so tightly, possibly even to this connection. But once you released, once you let go of the attachment, you felt a freedom in this love. You weren't so focused on your divine masculine. You weren't so focused on union. You weren't so focused on X, Y, and Z. You were just allowing it to flow, and you understood how then your connection was opening up, because you were opening up to the divine feminine flow within you. Divine masculines, they've had it tough because they have been in such a stubborn energy. They have been in such a place of resistance. They have been holding on very tightly to past patterns, relationships, habits, ways of thinking, mindsets, addictions, just family, toxic energy. They've been holding on because that was the comfort zone of what they thought they knew, and they didn't think they could have anything else. And I also want to say, the message is coming in that for divine masculines, especially those of the male gender, but take it as it resonates for you, because it doesn't have to be, but especially with regards to our society and the patriarchal conditioning, divine masculines were made to feel like they had to struggle in a way, like they had to pick themselves up by the bootstraps and plow through any blocks. They were taking things the hard way when they just needed to surrender to their own intuition, but that intuition had for so long been blocked. So it's, again, that energy of, going through the jungle. These divine masculines were taking machete and chopping through, making their own path when the path was already laid out for them. Now, that's not to say that others had walked the path before. That's not to say that you're walking behind other people. You guys are light workers. You're way showers. You are leading the way. You are helping to guide others. And yes, there might be some others who have been there before, who have paved the way before, other light workers and way showers and star seeds who have been laying the grid. Those are our mentors. We all have our mentors. But I'm talking about spirit. Spirit is the one who has paved the path for you individually. As an individual being, not just as a collective, but individually, spirit is the one who is paving the path for you. And rather than diverting from that path, that spirit and your oversoul, your very soul has been paving that path. Your very soul laid out that path. That's individual to you. Nobody else is walking this path. This is your freedom. That path is laid out for you and you alone. That is your journey, your singular individual journey. Others will walk around with you. Others will walk beside you on your path, but that path is yours for your human experience, for your incarnation. And divine masculines, they have been fighting that, resistant that, making it harder on themselves. But what actually happens is what they'll find is it's actually coming back to the same place. They're calling me to, oops. Give me a second. I want to get a visual here for you guys. Because there's two messages that's coming in with this. They're showing me this Two of Wands card, which has been, here we go. If you guys have been on the channel with me for a while, this Two of Wands card has been a strong visual with regards to messages from Spirit. Okay, there we go. So this Two of Wands, okay, I'm not going to go into what the old messages were. I'm just going to go into what the new message is. So Two of Wands is being at a choice point, being at a crossroads, having a choice to make as far as a path. And so imagine this being a jungle. And imagine if they go left, then they're just taking that machete and, chopping down shrubbery, trying to get through. And it just feels like it's blocked at every corner. It's very dark. There's vines in the way, thick vines, thorns, just all the stuff that feels like it's holding divine masculines back, but they're in their resistance, in their stubborn energy, they're still trying to plow through. They're just like, I've got this, I'm going to do this. And they don't realize that their path is already laid out for them by their choices. If they would just surrender to their own flow, if their feminine energy within them, if they would just listen to their intuition, then they would see that the path is not set for them as far as destiny, because in the present moment, every choice that you make creates the path for you. Every single choice that you make in the present moment opens up a new timeline. We talk about that on the dailies as well. If it's not already up there, I will try to post a link in the description box below. I think it might be one of the upcoming. But basically, every choice that you make in the present moment, every decision that you make that is aligned with love, that is aligned with your best and highest self, your true authentic self, your soul self, every choice that you make there leads you to your path and helps your path to unfold. And okay, so I'm going to bring this up because I don't know when I posted it on the dailies, but what I had channeled over the past week or so was different timelines. And what's happening is you have this now moment here. And from the now moment, you have like threads on a loom. Imagine a loom here, where it's all these different threads of potential timelines. And if you're in a lower vibration, then you have the potential for lower vibrational experiences within those timelines. But the more you raise your vibration, the more those lower vibrational timelines fall away, so that you only have those positive experiences. You only have those higher vibrational timelines. So, for example, okay, I'm getting called to a visual here. So, this is how I teach you guys. So bear with me, okay? So let's do this. I'm gonna get all my little, I just go with the flow. I just go with where they lead me, and this is where they're leading me. So, okay, let's do this. You're at a crossroads here, right? You have a decision. You have choices to make. If you're in ego, or if you're in a lower vibrational energy, from this point, you have threads of possibility, timelines, potential timelines of your next step, of your path unfolding. And that's what it is. At any given moment, we have the potential to shift timelines, to shift our future. At any given moment, we can shift our future, change our future. So that's why I'm not a predictive psychic or medium, because that is your choice, that is your power, that is your divine right. You get to make that choice, you get to manifest, you get to shift your energy by the vibration that you hold. So the present moment here, if you're in a lower vibration, you have the potential for both positive and negative experiences. Now, I don't want to use the words positive and negative, but that's the best way that I know how to associate it. The negative experiences are the so-called unpleasant experiences. Maybe financial troubles, maybe relationship troubles, maybe blocks to abundance, or delays in contracts or things like that. Okay? If you're in a higher vibration, what happens is, let's say the higher vibration are the hearts and the lower vibration are the gemstones. If you're in a high vibration and you're in alignment with love and the soul of yourself and listening to that intuition, what happens is the lower vibrational timelines fade away, so that all that's left are positive potentials for your future. And it can go any way, because again, you have the choice to make, and every choice that you make can then lead you in a different direction to a different timeline, but you don't have the potential lower vibrational or unpleasant experiences. That's not to say you won't have obstacles, that's not to say you won't have challenges, but the universe then brings in the resources for you to overcome them, because these are your highest possible timelines. These are your highest potential timelines. And the more choices that you make as your path unfolds, step by step by step, the more choices that you make, you go on this path where it's positive potential, positive potential, positive potential, positive potential. And that momentum then builds so that your life is just this glorious manifestation of abundance. And this lower vibrational energy melts away, fades away. So you have that power, this is your point of power in the present moment here. Divine masculines especially are recognizing this. They are understanding that they feel like they've been blocked or in stagnant energy because they have been not following the soul of themselves. They have been in resistance because they've been holding on to the past, people's expectations of them, not recognizing themselves in their divinity, not recognizing that they are a manifester, that they're a co-creator with the universe, not recognizing that their self, not recognizing their own identity. And so they've just been continuing on the path that they were in and just trying to get through and struggling with it when the path has been unfolding congruently all along. And what they're not understanding or not seeing is, no matter what, it's going to bring you to the same place. It's like these 2 points converge, these 2 paths converge. It's going to bring you to the same place, but there's a choice. You can go through the jungle and the dark night of the soul and make it harder for yourself, or you can listen to your intuition and spirit and the synchronicities that the universe is bringing to you, because the universe is communicating with you and your divine masculine all the time. That's what listening to your intuition is. It's the call of the universe, because you are one with the universe. You are the universe. That is the soul of yourself. So when you're listening to your soul self, you're listening to the universe. The second message that was coming in here was similar, where with these divine counterparts, it's this kind of the same thing. You might be physically separate, but you're still walking on the same path, and you're going to meet and converge at that point of sacred union. So even if it feels like you're in separation, if it feels like you guys are worlds apart, you guys are going to be meeting at that point. And oh boy, do I want to go here? Okay, yeah, they want me to. Okay, so I guess I'm teaching today. Okay. I'm going to show you guys this. This is what they had showed me for a client, and they showed this to me in a download. So this is a poorly drawn circle. Can you see that? I don't have let me see if this works. No, that doesn't work so great. Okay. So this is a circle. This is you and your divine counterpart as one. This is a Trinity energy. It's you, your divine masculine, and source energy itself merged as one. They had once showed it to me as a triangle, but they said that's not completely accurate, because yes, you're always connected to source energy, divine masculine, divine feminine, but it's not completely like this, because this still acts as separation. They said a long, long time ago what it actually is a circle where you and your divine masculine and the divine itself are one. And a circle is infinite. There is no ending and no beginning. Okay? So what they showed to me recently was you and your divine masculine, when you meet in the physical, when you meet in this incarnation, you have that soul recognition. That's your starting point. And then you go along your journey, and what happens is sometimes you go your separate way as divine feminine, and divine masculine goes their separate way. But that's for expansion, that's for soul growth. That's because your chakras are clearing out, number one. They're aligning with each other, number two, because the energy is so strong between you guys. But there's all this soul sludge that pops up in the middle between you guys. You're not toxic to each other, but there's toxicity within your environment based on past lifetimes, based on trauma and pain and heartbreak experienced in this lifetime, based on patterns, conditioning, learned behavior, habits, addictions, anything, any attachments, codependencies, anything toxic that needs to be cleared away. All that soul sludge comes up between you guys, and so that creates sometimes a physical separation because you need to heal on your own. Never apart. You're always part of the same circle, but sometimes you need to go your separate ways in the physical to balance out your energies, integrate the lessons and the experiences, and learn on your own. For some, that's going to be years and months of physical separation. Some are on that journey, or that's the path that they chose. For some, for me and my divine counterpart, we have been, for the most part, together with maybe a few days, weeks, or months of separation. That's the path that we chose. The grass is not greener. Let me make that abundantly clear. If you're in separation for years, I will tell you that the grass is not always greener, being in constant contact, communication, and physical proximity with your counterpart. Same, there were times when I wished for separation, for years of separation, because it felt like it was easier, but that grass isn't always greener because the energy that you're experiencing, the 5D energy, can be so intense. So just recognize and appreciate the path that you chose, that was for your growth and expansion as souls, that was what you chose for your healing purposes. Okay, so what's happening is you seem to be walking separate paths, but you're actually converging back into sacred union. This part here, draw a little bit of a heart, that part here is your sacred union. There we go. Yeah. This, I don't know which way I have this. Can you see this? Yeah, this is your sacred union. And it's like you guys are like here. For this is the process coming into sacred union, integrating that energy. You guys have been through it, and there's no time associated with this. This can take as long of time or as short as time as necessary. There's no time associated with this, but this is where you guys are. For my collective, for those of you who are resonating with this, you are here where you're coming into reunion and communication and integrating all the energy and all the healing. Now, there might still be some back and forth. There might still be some communication and then withdrawing, but it's not going to be the pattern that it was before. This was here. This is the widest part of the circle, and you are past that point now. You are now in the process of sacred union, coming into sacred union and integrating those energies, and I really feel like this is where this collective is. I really feel like not only is there more vulnerability and intimacy coming in, more honest communication, more authentic soul self, but there's recognition of the connection, there's recognition of this love, and a choosing of this connection and this love. I really feel like what's happening is divine masculines are opening up to their own intuition and their psychic ability. And I feel like it's because divine feminines, you are really standing in your power. You have learned boundaries. You have learned not to overgive, not to overextend yourself. You have learned how to surrender and be in the flow, which is helping you to be in your power. And the more you're in your power, the more the divine masculine is able to rise into theirs. And that's a transformation, the beautiful transformation that is taking place right now. They are really stepping into their power. Learning to trust their intuition and learning that plowing through the jungle was just the hard way of doing things, that they were making it harder on themselves. Now they're shifting their focus to the path, the ever unfolding path that is being laid out in front of them. They're recognizing flow, they're recognizing surrender, they're recognizing that their ego was just trying to control. Now the ego is dissolving. And one of the previous Divine Masculine readings, we said victory over ego. That's exactly what is happening. They are seeing themselves clearly. They are having an awareness of themselves, self-actualization. They are understanding who they are both as a physical incarnation and as their soul self, and learning how to integrate and blend, merge both of those energies. That is inner union as well. That is self-mastery. That is how you become an ascended master within this physical incarnation. Recognizing the human experience and your power, your divinity as a spiritual, unlimited being. So what's happening is you guys are actually on the same path. Even if it looks separate, you're on the same path, and you're going to converge just like Divine Masculine is going to converge, just like you, Divine Feminines, have converged. That is that inner union. And as you reach inner union, that's when outer union comes into being, into fruition. Okay. I'm going to end it there as a special energy reading, because that felt very much like a twin flame teaching, which I have not been called to do before, but that felt very powerful. So I'm going to end it there as a special Ascension energy update. What is happening is you guys are coming into sacred union because you're reaching that union within yourself. And you're coming into that partnership because of that recognition of the self and recognition of the connection. So I do feel like I'm going to end that there. We're going to be back tomorrow with a Sacred Union energy update where we look into specifically the Divine Masculine, what's going on in their headspace, heart space, and physical environment, as well as the feminine, what's going on in your headspace, heart space, and physical environment, and how you're feeling about each other. We'll get into all of that good stuff in the Sacred Union energy update. This felt very complete. So we're going to end this here. I hope that it resonated with you. As always with my readings, take what does resonate with you, disregard what doesn't. If you want to learn more, we have a number of channeled messages on the special channeled messages Ascension playlist, where we go deep into the Sacred Union path to Ascension. So make sure that you check that out. Just go to wherever your heart is calling you to, whatever feels like it's resonating with you. All right, you guys, that's going to be it. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and we'll see you soon. Bye.